How's it going, everybody? Lucelo here. A little different today. I'm going to be gone this whole week. I'm busy with my move, crazy stuff going on. You should be in here with Mr. Hernandez. Mr. Hernandez is a cool guy. He took me over to Mercado Latino for the first time, got me some food. So you better treat him good or I'm going to hear about it. So, first things first, measurement help videos right here at the bottom, Module 3. This is for my people that have been asking for help with this specific module here. Introduction to measurements, length, mass, and volume. I think you guys will be fine doing those on your own. They're watching videos and stuff. But these three, triple beam mass gizmo, finding volume gizmo, right? You need to explore learning for both of these. I left the passwords with Mr. Hernandez if you need those. And then Captain Ruler's Treasure, right? These videos, right? That's if you click right here. I already had it open. Little walkthroughs for all these assignments. All right, so I'm hoping you guys can get through these. If you finish today's work and you're sitting around, check these out, get these done. Wrong title here, I'll fix that, but ignore that for now. So these are here for if you get the work done. So what's the work for today then? Well, we're finally hopping into a new module called DNA and Genetics. If you were with me in session 3, we got into this a little tiny bit and then the session ended. It's one of my favorite topics, so I want to jump into it now. So right here, we're going to open that up. DNA. Take a look at that. All right. So DNA, short for deoxyribonucleic acid. There's a fun little Jeopardy question for you if that ever comes up. Is the material that carries all the information about how a living thing will look and how it'll function. Right? All living things have DNA within their cells. Our DNA is found in something called the nucleus. That's not always the case. Keyword is living here. All living things have DNA. Humans, animals, birds, trees, flowers, grass, your pets, right? Your grandma and grandpa. We all got DNA. Things like this microphone, this, right? This, right? Things like thoughts, right? Those don't have DNA, right? They're not living things, so they don't have DNA. DNA is responsible for every part of you. Your hair, your eyes, your skin color, your height, hand size, the shape of your lips, everything is determined by DNA. DNA does more than just determine your structure and function. It's also the way parents pass down traits. When you were born, you received some DNA from your dad, you received some DNA from your mom. Because you have DNA from both, you share some traits with each of them, but some are unique to you. Right? So this idea of DNA being something that determines how we look and how we function, right? DNA determined that my skin would be this color, my hair would be this color, I would be this height, my hands would be this size, right? That I've got 5 fingers on both hands. All that stuff is determined by DNA. But it also determines stuff like how we function, you know? How does your body put on muscle? How sweaty are your hands, right? Little function things like that. How much can you eat before you throw up? You know, some of us get car sick, some of us don't. So it's not all looks, it's also things like function. So now that you've been introduced to DNA, let's take a closer look at its structure. So over here, you'll see on this side, figure A, this is how DNA looks. We call this structure a double helix. I'm going to come back to this one after we look at B for a second. Image B shows how DNA would look if we untwisted it and laid it flat. And you can see that it resembles a ladder. So that's talking about B right here, right? Looks a whole lot like a ladder. So what you can think of is DNA is just like taking 2 ends of a ladder and twisting them, right? You can kind of see that here. It's all twisted up. But if we untwisted it and laid it flat, it would look just like this, like a ladder. DNA is an incredibly complicated molecule. It has to be in order to make up every living thing on the planet, right? We all look very different. I look very different from a dog. I look very different from a tree. I look very different from you, right? So we all look very different. So obviously DNA is doing some incredible things. So you might be surprised to hear that as complicated as DNA is, right? It can make everything from trees to bananas to you. It's only made of 5 different parts. Okay, If you think of this DNA as a ladder, like we have been, the two poles on the side of the ladder are what we call the sugar phosphate backbones. That's these light blue parts right here, right? They're like the legs on a ladder. Wouldn't be much of a ladder if it didn't have the two legs on the side, right? It would just be a bunch of sticks in the middle and they would all just fall, right? You need the side poles, even though the goal of the ladder is to climb the steps. Without the side poles, there can't be steps, right? That's exactly what the sugar phosphate backbone does. The real magic is what's in the middle here. But you can't have the magic of the middle without the side support beams. Similar to your own backbone, these sugars act as the support. So these side poles are what supports the good stuff in the middle, just like a ladder. So what is in the middle? The other 4 parts. Remember I said DNA is made up of 5 parts. 1 part is the sugar phosphate backbone. The next 4 are something we call nitrogenous bases. You guys may have heard of nitrogen before. It's involved in that. That's why the name is there, nitrogenous. There's 4 of them: adenine, thymine, guanine, and cytosine. You do not have to learn those names because we will always refer to them simply as A, T, G, and C. I only highlighted that successfully like twice, but you see what I'm saying. So those 4 bases pair together to form the ladder shape DNA is famous for. Even though the nitrogenous bases work together to make DNA, they don't all get along. So this is where you take over. Take a look at image B. Each nitrogenous base only likes to pair with one of the other 4. Which pairs do you see? So I'm not going to give anything away, but you're going to be looking right here at part B. Pay attention to how these bases pair, because you'll see that question comes back at the very end here. Look at the image of DNA. The base pairs in DNA bond in a very specific pattern. What patterns do you notice? Hint, look at the steps of the ladder. Do you notice anything about them? How many are there? How do they pair up? So you're going to have to figure this out for yourself. I'm not going to give you the answer until I get back on Tuesday of next week. And I'm not going to be here Thursday either. So I suppose maybe I will give you the answer in a little video on Thursday, getting you ready. But that's today's assignment, guys. You're going to have to read through this again if you need to. Answer all these 7 questions down here. Specifically, pay attention to question 3. It says, your appearance is a combination of 50% DNA from your mom and 50% DNA from your dad. Answer at least one of the following questions. All right, so you only have to pick one of these. You don't got to do all 3. You can do all 3 if you think they're fun. If you want to answer all 3, feel free. But I just need one. All right, I gave you options about which one you want to pick. Because I know not everybody's got a sibling, stuff like that. So I gave you options. All right. Other than that, guys, be good for Mr. Hernandez. He's a cool guy. I don't want to have him tell me that you guys are acting up. My phone's going to be around, so I'm going to have it on me. So if I hear something's going on, I'm going to drive down here, and you don't even want to know what's going to happen when I drive down here. Ask Anissa. All right, so that's it, guys. I will see you again next week, but expect on Thursday, see more videos from me. Get this all done. If you got any questions or anything, save them for Thursday. I guess don't save them for Thursday. Shoot me a message on Canvas. I'll try to pop in and check them, but I might not get back to it till next week. But I think you guys will be all right. All right. So I'll see you guys when I get back. Hopefully everyone has a great weekend. We're almost at the end, guys. So just keep pushing through, and I'll see you guys when I get back.